For days now their company had been travelling the untamed. "We're here to stop the greatest of all wars, and to find the chink in the Mad King's armour. For that we need the wisdom of the Sisters Three. Epic shite, Mouse, so keep up your gallant front." Of this she reminded herself repeatedly, as if her recitation of the cold facts would bring her more reason to tread this horrid domain. How many days they'd wandered, Mouse could not say, not that time mattered here beyond day's light and night's dark. Hourglasses were a modern convention for which this primeval land seemed to have no use. Mouse had numbed herself to many of the nuisances of the woods, the briars and their bloodthirsty barbs, the spongy lining of her boots that never dried in the loam and muck through which she slogged, the feel of a snake gliding over her while she fitfully slept, the throat rattles of animals as deep as wind instruments, or the frequent startles as something leathery, furry, or scaled cast a shadow upon her, yet never attacked. They feared what sort of predators her dead father and the wolf might prove to be. All these uncounted grievances Mouse had put aside for the sake of this mad quest to find the 3 oldest witches in Geadhain. This was a hero's journey. In her opinion, she shouldn't even be on it. Still, in the end, despite every dread and torture she had escaped, including her own self-doubt, the bugs were testing her resolve. For if it wasn't a gnat nibbling at her, it was a spider falling onto her neck, or another unseen thing scuttling under her clothing. Perhaps she had the sweetest blood of the company, or the insects could sense her natural terror of tiny, many-legged things. She awoke every morning scratching and frantic, and she ended her weary days in much the same way. No one else appeared similarly bothered. From dawn to dusk the wolf boldly led them through the vast forest as if he owned it. Mouse learned from fireside chatter that he actually did, or at least had once, as much as anyone could rule the untamed. If they were thirsty, he sniffed out a babbling brook of sugary crystal water from which to drink. If they sensed danger, he silenced it with a bark. At times he darted off only to return with the carcass of a beast that had come too close to their company. In such moments his bloodmate Morigan might kiss him, and Mouse would find a flower to distract herself or a gnat to swat. There was an animalism to their passion that made her uneasy. As travellers, the 5 never wanted for nourishment or worried about danger in even the thorniest and most hissing wealds they explored, not while a lord of fang and claw protected them. When not defending herself from insects, Mouse would watch the woods in wonder. The grand, moss-bearded oaks were so old and imposing she could imagine them as dormant giants. They exuded a sense of watchfulness and wisdom. Amid these sleeping guardians, smaller tree species flourished without particular obedience to the rules of nature. Pines spread heavily at their tops like umbrellas, instead of rising in coniferous shapes. There were birches with grey bark, knots, and holes ran straight through them. In these burrows feral eyes often gleamed. All her life Mouse had heard stories and henwives' gossip about the untamed, but neither the eloquent poems nor the scariest or silliest rumours really captured the place's strangeness. Perhaps fairy stories came nearest, with their undertones of magic and otherworldly happenings. Aye, the magic of Alabion was undeniable. The glassy butterflies refracted sunlight, the winged lizards fluttered by her ear and whistled tunes as if they were flutes. The childlike dread that claimed her came from some of the larger shadows the wolf growled at, ones even he deemed too much of a hassle to hunt. In such instances she was reminded that death was only a misstep away.